Hey guys, Packy here, and I'm back with another mod spotlight, and today we will be spotlighting the ICBM mod. So let's get right into it. Basically, what the ICBM mod is, it adds tons and tons of different explosives. Like it adds anything from shrapnel to antimatter. It adds basically everything. So, I'll be showing you one by one, giving you their recipes and all that stuff. So, and before I start this, I might tell you that they categorize them by their color. Like, the green is tier 1, the red is tier 2, the blue is tier 3, and this one is tier 4. There's another tier 4, the red matter, but I can't really run that on this computer. It's like it keeps exploding like forever. You can go try it out for yourself, and we'll learn about this later. So let's go blow some stuff up. I've already set up a redstone torch over here just to test the explosives. Might want to grab some before we start. So let's just grab a bunch of the tier 1 explosives. Well, kind of go in order here. So first is the condensed explosive, made just by a couple TNT and a redstone. It gives you 3. And it's actually, I don't really know whether to say it's better or worse than actual TNT, because it doesn't really have a fuse. It has a really small blast radius, about that big, you'll see. But it doesn't really have much. It has no timer. Kill the pig. So yeah, that's the condensed explosive. I don't. Tell me in the comments whether you think that is better or worse than normal TNT. I can't decide at all. Okay. So next, I'm definitely gonna die in this one. Is the shrapnel. I'll see if I can get away. But basically, it shoots tons of flaming arrows, and just like that pig, it killed it, and because it's a pig, and they were flaming arrows, it cooked it. Yeah. So that's the shrapnel. See, the redstone torch didn't break, nothing broke. It's a really good thing to use if you don't really want to destroy anything, but you want to kill them. Chemical explosive is a bit more harsh. I might want to grab one thing for this. The antidote. This is also added by the ICBM mod. You'll see what it does in a second. Okay, so chemical. And boom. It gives you nasty effects, basically poisons you. So then this antidote, I know you may be freaking out. No, I'm freaking out. It's basically like a bucket of milk. It just clears up your effects. You spawn in another one. There we go. We'll keep that there. It takes a second to wear off. There we go. It should be safe to go back in. Next is the oh, I forgot to show you the recipe for the shrapnel. That might be a good idea. Okay, so the shrapnel is basically crafted with a repulsive explosive, which I'll show you in a bit. Just a couple condensed. Whoops. Basically just make it with arrows around the repulsive, and then the chemical is just poison powder, which is basically just rotten flesh and some spider eyes around a defibrillation, which is this. I'm about to show you all these. Just forgot what order they went in. The defibrillation explosive is crafted like this, repulsive. Basically, they're all based off of each other. So let's try this. Explode. This gives you other effects. It's basically like a bogged down version of the chemical explosive. There's a lot of different chemical explosives in here. But this is probably the weakest. And remember, this is all still like the first tier of explosives. And it does have a range. There we go. It's all gone. Okay. The next one I'm going to show you is the... Nope, no rain. Next one I'm going to show you is the repulsive, because you've seen this so much already. So the repulsive is just crafted with 2 condensed explosives in like just 2 of them. And this one, this one is really actually pretty cool. Or at least it's a lot like TNT. It's basically like a timed version of the other one. It's good if you don't want to do a lot of damage, but I wouldn't really suggest it. So, you see we're already doing a bit of damage to the landscape, but this is nothing. It gets a lot worse. So, next is the attractive explosive. That's made from condensed explosives the other way. So, let's place this down. Set down a redstone torch. And watch this baby blow up. This is honestly like my favorite mod of all time, because you see how I was over here, it sucked me towards it and blew up. That's basically what it did. Look at that chasm. But yeah, so this is probably one of my favorite mods of like all time. It adds so many like different explosives. It's good for multiplayer servers. Though, it's not horrible if you're playing single player, but there's not much use for it. This one is kind of funny. This is the Anvil Explosive. It's a lot like the shrapnel, only instead of shooting arrows, it shoots entities. I'm being safe, but if you were actually in your house, that would have probably killed you. So, right before we go, on to the next tier of explosives, I will demonstrate the incinerator. This I'm going to want to back up a little bit for. Yeah, and the incinerator explosive is, the Anvil Explosive is just created with an anvil around some shrapnel. It honestly does, it gives you 10 of them, so it's completely and utterly worth it. And then the incendiary is just lava around a repulsive, lava and sulfur. Sulfur is something that is added in the mod. It's a ore that's found around your world. That's added, yeah. So I'll be back when we're ready to set up for tier 2. Hey guys, I'm back, and we're here with the tier 2 explosives. And I guess I don't really know which one I want to start with. This I'll get to later, but I guess we'll start with the breaching explosives. They're just made with some condensed explosives and some gunpowder, which actually I think has gotten a recipe. Yep. You take you can take charcoal dust and mix it with some other stuff. I think there's other mods involved, but I guess so let's place down this. It's basically just a hyped up form of TNT. Just really, really hyped up. It's good for getting through it, and it can, I think, break almost any block. Correct me if I'm wrong, you people of the YouTubes. But I think you can break through almost any block. Obviously not bedrock, but almost any block. So that, I really like that one. That one's really nice for getting into places you're not supposed to be. Okay, this is the thermobaric explosive, and while it looks really complicated, it's basically all the stuff we've gone over before. Chemical explosives, incendiary explosives, chemical, repulsive. So, let's check it out. So you see, it's slowly getting bigger and bigger and bigger until the deadly antimatter. It's good. Back up a little bit. getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And normally if I would have had it over here, like over in the center, it would have done a bit more massive damage. My goal is that by the end of this, which I know will happen, we'll get all the way down to the end of the crevice. But I don't know. I'm gonna need to spawn myself into in a new torch. So next we're going to look at the fragmentation explosive, which is crafted with just 4 shrapnel and 1 incendiary explosive. This one's pretty cool. Better jump in there. Whoops. Okay. This is from a different mod. Just letting you know. Just throw myself back up here. There we go. Did a bit of damage. Need another redstone torch, but did some damage. So now I think there's only 3 more in here for the tier 2 tier 2 explosives. This one I might need to be back in a second because this one is very resource demanding. This I also might want to run. Oh yeah. So it basically chucks up all the blocks around. Missed the water. So it basically chucks up all the blocks around and basically throws them everywhere, as you'll see in a second. Not fet. We'll put in a jetpack. So yeah, it just threw all the blocks from in there down there. This is definitely not the best explosive, but it's pretty good. Okay. So last one of the tier 2 explosives is the chemical. Contagious. It's basically an upgraded form of the chemical. It's just crafted with 4 chemical and a rotten flesh. Oh, yeah, forgot one thing. We need to look at the Sonic Missile. I didn't get to show you that. Oh, whoops. I didn't get to show you the recipe. It's note blocks and bronze around repulsive, and as usual with bronze, it's usually just made out of copper and tin. So, for the last one of the tier 2, we will put down the contagious. Should be fine. And unlike the other one, I think there's a pig in there. But let's say I catch the disease. Let's say I get the poison. It doesn't hurt me that much because I'm wearing my armored jetpack. I have blindness and all this other crap. But let's say I think the blindness went away, but but in this case, the disease, if like let's say this cow catches it, it will keep it on the cow, and let's say I go near the cow, the disease is contagious and it will go to me. So it's really good for like a long-lasting effect, though there wasn't really anything around to do that. I'm sorry, that isn't the last explosive for the tier 2. Last one is the rejuvenation, which actually will kind of go against what we're trying to do, but whatever. So let's just put this in there. There we go. There it is. And what this does is, the reason why it's so expensive is because it replaces all the blocks. It basically fixes what you've messed with. So that's it for the Tier 2 explosives. I'll be back in a couple seconds when I get the Tier 3 all set up. Okay guys, I'm back, and we're here, and unlike I originally planned, we are going to be doing the Tier 3s with missiles, because I really don't want to be letting off the Tier 3 explosives over in that hole, because it will blow up all of my missile stuff. And besides, I need to show you the missiles anyway. So we'll start with the one, with some of the less explosive ones and go on to the more explosive ones. We'll start with the, I guess we'll start with the Anti-Gravitational Missile. The Anti-Gravitational Missile, is basically an anti-gravity explosive and the missile module. As with all the missiles require a missile module, but they require control circuits or basic circuits from universal electricity and some steel and flint steel. And where is it? I chose anti-gravitational, I think, yeah. Okay, so the anti-gravitational is just a repulsive missile with eyes vendor around it. So I'll teach you how missiles work right now. So basically what you do is you have your power source, you have it hooking up into your launch control panel. So basically the order is launch control panel, missile launcher, missile support frame. So then it says the missile silo is empty. If there's no power, I'll say no electricity. So let's just plop this anti-gravitational missile in there. And as you see, there's the stuff. Right now it has it set to these coordinates. And let's say I go over to where we're going to be blowing up our explosives, which is way over here, right over there. I could just take the X and Y coordinates of this area, and it would just launch the missile over here after I put them in there and stuff like that. But I don't really want to have to go like remember them, so I have this nifty little thing called a radar gun from the mod. It's just crafted with a control circuit or basic circuit, some steel, a button, and some glass. Basically, all it does is it marks the coordinates, so you don't really have to remember them. So when you come back to your missile silo or this little thing, all I have to do to load the coordinates in there is just come over to the control panel, right click, and voila, my missile stuff is in here. So to launch the missile, all you need is a redstone signal. All you need is a redstone signal, just to the control panel, and move pig. Okay, pig, here is your loss. Whoop. There we go. So basically the missile launches. Wait, oops. Basically it launches over there. And the anti-gravitational missile is really cool because it turns all the separate blocks into entities and they all fly up. Kind of like the sonic missile, only they stay up there. You grab my dip. They basically just stay up there. Let's say I walk over here. Yeah, I float up too. See, I can take off my jetpack. And yes, I am floating in the air. Though blocks are floating higher than me. It's kind of making me a little jealous. So let's come back on my joke. Fly up and say eventually the blocks will straighten out up here and stay until they fall down like this. Like now I think I can go and land on them. Unlike before where they were all separate entities. So now this basically, so that is the Anti-Gravitational Explosive. Still something new. Sometimes it just releases its little hole for a second. But, okay, so the next missile I'm going to show you is the, I guess I'll show you the Exothermic Missile. The Exothermic Missile is crafted with a Exothermic Explosive and a missile module. Exothermic is basically 8 incendiary explosives around a piece of glass. Not terribly hard if you have all the resources for it. So let's just come around, put this in our missile silo. It's going to launch in the same place. Don't tell me I'll hit that. Okay, didn't hit that. Oh, whoops, forgot something about this one. Let's set time to dawn. For this one, it's a kind of special missile. It needs, something other than just the missile to have it launch. It needs to be exactly around basically noon when it goes off. Because it absorbs the power of the sun. It basically uses the power of the sun to do. It first takes all the sun's power, turns it to night, and does. Where is it? Wait a second. What happened? What'd you do? Let's reload the chunks. Maybe it's the anti-gravitational. What it does is it spreads a big lot of. It spreads so much fire. It would probably spread it all the way back to here. But it spreads a lot of fire, and then right there's a big hole that appears. So it would help us on our journey to destroy this world. And the endothermic is quite the opposite. And for this one, I will be showing you. It's basically the opposite. It turns it to day and freezes stuff. But those two, I think, are just not working right now. Or else that would be a lot easier. Oh, yeah, and the endothermic missile. Endothermic missile is crafted, with, of course, the missile module and the Exothermic Explosive, which is an attractive explosive with some ice and some snow. Actually, not that expensive for a Tier 3 missile. And it honestly does so much damage that it's worth using them. Okay, for this one, I will turn this off and show you one of my favorites, the Hypersonic Explosive. This, crafted with the missile module, is 4 sonic explosives. Just create the hypersonic explosive. So, whoops. So let's put this one in there. And for this, I will be showing you the laser designator. It's a really nifty tool. Let's say you're in the battle, over at your friend's house. It's like forever away. And you have your radar gun, but you don't really like it. You don't want to have to walk back to fire the missile. Well, you just use one of these guys, crafted with a radar gun, an elite circuit, which is basically, if you know, I won't do that because it's part of a different mod, but basically have to get an elite circuit, the radar gun, and the remote detonator, which is crafted like this. And what this does is you set the frequency using this. Set the frequency to 1, right click it, it sets this frequency to 1. And you go over to where you want it to explode, which I've made a little area right there. And basically all you have to do is right click, and it fires it for you. It fires the missile to where you right clicked. Just like this. But unlike the sonic missile, the hypersonic missile is a lot more fun to watch. 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. It's basically just a hyped up version of the other one, and it spreads the blocks a lot farther, like really far. So that's the hypersonic missile, and I bet I'll do the next will be the nuclear explosive. It's a really, really, really powerful explosive. You'll see. So it is crafted like so. Missile module and the nuclear explosive. It's uranium. It comes from the atomic science mod, or if you don't have that, it just is found in the world. And thermobaric explosive, the big one. It was one of the big ones from over there. And this guy has a pretty big range. So let's go into this. I'll be right back when I get to the spot. Okay, guys? Okay, guys, I'm back, and here's our spot for where we're going to be shooting our nuclear missile from. Nuclear missiles are big. They're not the biggest, but they're big. So let's just place this. It's enough electricity. Ultimate energy cube. Do you think so? Nope, I think I'm gonna have to launch it from over there. So I think the nuclear and the antimatter missiles, you have to have it be from over there, I guess. Okay, I thought it might be a range thing, but we'll just fly back here and just launch it. Just put the coordinates in and launch it from here. Bummer, but this is the second to last missile. This is probably the second to most deadly, the third or fourth most deadly missile. It's weird. All my stuff has been turning green lately. And I'll be right back, guys. My game seems to be lagging a little bit. Okay, guys, I'm back, and basically I've reloaded the chunks until they let me reload. Until this is all done. So basically, it has torn up the landscape and put this toxic waste all around here and poured it into the nearby water sources, and which makes it a real pain to clean up. Unlike the antimatter missile, which basically obliterates everything, and it gives you radiation 3. So does this. So if you launch a nuclear missile in a good spot, it can honestly be really deadly. So, last explosive of the day. I'll just do it as an explosive. I'll have to do this in creative, because I will not be able to withstand this if not. Is the antimatter explosive. So let's just place this down, and have it go off. Come on. Oh, you might want to select the redstone torch. Okay, so unlike any of the other missiles, it actually has, unlike most of the other missiles, it has a big siren that goes off of it. And this is truly deadly. I'm gonna have to go because this will probably lag my game. I'll be back in a second. Okay guys, we're back, and here's the destruction of the antimatter bomb. It is literally so big that it goes all the way into the void. It goes from the top down into the void. It gives you a realization that the Minecraft world isn't actually that big. It's just like that big. Like if you're here, it's only that big. It's just so hard to grasp. But I forgot to tell you how this is created. It's made with antimatter, which is from atomic science, and nuclear bombs. And as you saw before, the nuke is just made like that. Okay guys, this has been a mod spotlight of the ICBM mod. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Comment, rate, and subscribe. And as always, I will be if you have any mods that you would like me to spotlight, put them in the description, in the comment section, and okay guys, this is a little special thing. I'm gonna try and see if this red matter bomb works and it won't completely crash my recording software and everything. Let's try this. Here we are. It doesn't seem to be crashing, but it's not textured right. Usually it's red. And yeah, so it's basically just a giant bomb that keeps sucking stuff in, and if I go towards the bomb, I too will get sucked in, slowly but surely. Or maybe I don't. Maybe because I'm in creative it doesn't work. Let's try it in survival. Yep, definitely only works in that. Ugh. Yeah, I'm trying to get out, but as with some things, it doesn't work. So yeah, this has been a demonstration of the ICBM mod, and I'll see you guys later. I'll see you guys.